It's
It's
announced that it
clean.
would be a six-man taking on the Shield. Are you excited to work with the Shield?
Yes, I was very excited with them, and uh, I don't know if it was right prior to this or after this, but we worked with those guys a ton overseas, and so we literally got to work with them probably
Right.
15 nights in a row. You know what I mean? With the Shield in 6 men tag matches where we had Randy or Sheamus or different guys. So
We
yeah,
could
it was.
throw a little bubble up of one of those past episodes. I don't remember what number it was, but we talked extensively about it. Let's put a little watch here for more about that
Okay. Yeah,
encounter.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, because that was a great, those were overseas tours. And again, I'm wanting to say it was right before or right after Mania.
Hmm.
Um, but it was, so yeah, I was excited to work with those guys. I knew how good they were. I knew they could cover up for how old and out of shape and no good I was. And I knew I liked the guys and they liked me. We had a mutual respect. To this day, we still have the same mutual respect for me and all three of those guys in the Shield.
Sorry, I just got a text. Hi, I'm Larissa. Are you Anisha? Nope, not me.
Oh, well, no, no, I'm sorry. That was for me. I go by Anisha in my. Let's go ahead.
On the go home Raw from DC, Kane defeated Reigns via DQ when the Shield got involved, and then the Outlaws run in. Were you still
Yes.
hurting at this point, or is your body getting the
Yeah, it's
leaks
getting.
it needs?
I'm getting better. And look, throughout that time too, I'm doing things that I never did when I was originally the Road Dog. You know what I mean? Like icing and heating my back and doing. So I was taking care of myself because I was kind of under orders. You know what I mean? Like I had to. Normally, back in the day, I would have just rubbed some dirt on it and taken some pills and got back in there. But at this point, I was smart enough to go, oh, they're telling me this will work. I should probably listen to them.
Before we get to the Mania match, what can you tell us about your thoughts on each individual guy then and now? So let's go with Dean Ambrose,
Okay.
John Moxley. What do you think of his style and ring? What do you think of the vibe, and where do you think where he's at now, and all of these things combined?
So yeah, look, I'm a huge Dean Ambrose fan, John Moxley fan. I always have been. But one of the biggest things, and I'll always remember it, and I say this a lot because I do. Like, I think it was when the Shield and Corporate Kane were putting the wood to him backstage, and
Hmm.
they're just stomping a mud hole in him. And they come up, when the camera comes up, and they stop for a second, and Dean Ambrose just looks up and says, "Is that all you got?" And they just continue to beat the crap out of him. But I always thought, that's the coolest guy in the room right there. You know what I mean? And I always did think he was kind of like a really cool dude. He was a little standoffish and a little out there when you talk to him, but he was always like cool. He was always seemed to be in a good space in his head. But look, I think he from what he represented then, he has transformed into exactly what that character would look like after a maturation period. You know what I mean? Like John Moxley is exactly what that guy would look like now. You know what I mean? That's how I feel anyway. Uh, I'm a fan of his work now. I think he works hard. I think he tries really hard, and he's great at cutting promos. Man, he can remember every line, every word you write down, or he can go out there and freestyle.
Hmm.
And so he was a guy that I would trust with the microphone on live television for sure.
How about Seth Rollins?
Seth freaking Rollins, man, he was the not they called him the architect because he was great at putting matches together, but he also got that name creatively. Got the moniker as because he was orchestrated the demise and all that stuff of the Shield. Um, but he could always really work really well. Like his timing was really good. His he didn't hurt you. He was always right where he needed to be when he needed to be there. Always knew Seth Rollins was going to be a major league player. Once he got to the main roster, I feel like he grew up a lot in NXT.
Hmm.
Once he got to the main roster, he was ready to rock and roll. And again, to this day, he is nothing like I thought he would be. I think his character has evolved in ways that I never imagined.
Yeah,
And I think he's doing some of his best work right now
I agree.
as a great heel character. Uh, that makes me want to see him on TV. You
Yeah,
know what I
super
mean?
charismatic, super
What is
entertaining,
what's he
larger
going to
than
do
life.
next? What's he going to be wearing? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's holy crap. I'm worried. I'm a 53-year-old man from Georgia who's worried about what Seth freaking Rollins is going to wear on TV this Monday or Friday. And I think that's kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Tribal chief, will you acknowledge him?
Holy mackerel. Will I ever? What a beautiful man with a head full of beautiful hair. I mean, just put some extra conditioner in there. And, I mean, what were we talking about again?
We're talking about his
See
beautiful
that?
hair. We're talking about
Just,
his locks, his
yeah.
looks,
So look,
his
locks and look.
masculinity.
He is masculine, that's for sure. Like, I will acknowledge the tribal chief, dude. Roman was a star from the get go. He carried himself that way. He still does to this day. There was something special about him, and it was almost just the way he carried himself. But he's continuing to grow as a main event player, as the main event player. I think he said. But man, he's just like any of the other ones, a great worker, and now he just hones his skills. And man, I think he's anybody that hates on him now is just a hater, because if he hadn't earned your respect by now, I think you're just being disingenuous. I'm a huge fan of Roman Reigns.
Let's get to some fan questions with Michael Berry Sr., who wants to know, when you had this match, which out of the 3 members of the Shield did you think would make it the furthest? Obviously, they've all had magnificent careers.
They have, but I thought Roman from the get-go, just because, I mean, look, it sounds crazy for me to say, but what a big, good-looking man. You know what I mean? Like, what a smooth, suave dude. And to me, and look, they're all from Pensacola, and I'm from Pensacola, and so that's all fine and dandy. I grew up with Junior, aka Rikishi, and traveled with him, and so literally I've seen these boys grow up at the airport. But how cool are they? How cool is the bloodline? Like, it's the best thing going in television today, in wrestling television, bar none. And I don't say that because I'm toting a line for anybody. I just say that because that's my opinion. I think they're cool as crap. I think they're heels, but I think they're super cool. And they keep their heat a little bit somehow too. So I don't know. Roman Reigns was always going to be the man for me.
Sarah Walker.
I came out wrong again, but or did it?
It didn't. It didn't.
Perfect.
Sarah Walker wonders, what is the most important moments that stole the show?
Man, so help me out here, Ryan. Didn't Daniel win?
He beat Triple H to get.
Didn't he? That's right. He beat Hunter to get into the triple threat, which was the main event. Got it. I was confused about that. I thought it was the other way around. So yeah, look, to me, it was both of those moments were cataclysmic moments that were larger than life and real. I think the Bray Wyatt defeat was a negative. I think the Undertaker defeat was a negative. I think there were negatives, but I think all the Daniel Bryan beats, because of the organic nature of the groundswell of the Yes movement, and the creative writing, I thought, man, those moments were super special, above and beyond cool spots in wrestling.